Hello and welcome to this webinar session on the introduction to AppsBeacon. My name is Shai Ifrah. You can contact us at AppsBeacon or by email at contact@appsbeacon.com or visit our website for further details. So a little bit about a preface to what's AppsBeacon, why is it needed, and the current status of apps in the marketplace. So as we all know, there are currently thousands and thousands of apps available on each app store, and apps have actually become the main focal point for users to interact with their phone, whether it be to access web content, playing games, or doing social interaction. Apps is the first go-to function when it comes to users. So this has also brought an explosion of apps. So the marketplace is currently filled with, like I said, thousands and thousands of apps. So new developers or developers struggle to reach new users, because users have so many different apps to choose from, and they have so little time to test out or download or check out every new app that comes out to the market. So that is a problem, and basically new users and new user attraction and your user base is the difference between success and failure for an app. You can have a great app, but if it doesn't have users, then what's the point? So even large mobile studio, which a fraction of the total mobile users in an app store. So even for the Nokia store, even very large studios such as EA or maybe Glue or any other big name mobile studio that you think of, actually doesn't reach the entire user space of that app store. So what is AppsBeacon? AppsBeacon is a free cross-promotion and discovery service for mobile apps. It basically does mean marketing. It means marketing for your apps, and it helps you reach new users and attract new users that would not have heard of your app and would not have downloaded your app otherwise. It is based on a web console where you do all the registration and login and add in your app link and the different data that you want, such as banners, etc. And we also have a native SDK. It currently only supports Java apps for the Nokia store, so that you can integrate with your app in a single line of code, so it's very easy to use. You don't need a lot of work and to put in a lot of hours to integrate it into your app. So how does it work? Well, AppsBeacon offers developers a fully automated platform for doing cross promotion between your apps and other developer apps. So if we think about it, let's just see this example, and we'll see this is like the entire Nokia store user base. So you can see you can have developers that have this amount of users out of the total user base. Some developers are smaller, some developers are bigger, some have intersections, some doesn't. What AppsBeacon does is allow all those developers to actually share their users between each other. So if you think about it, this is a great idea to reach new users. If you think your app is good and you just have a hard time attracting users and getting the word out, and you don't have any big budget to spend on media buy and ad buy, etc., then this is the perfect solution for you. So after you register to the AppsBeacon site, you simply add your App Store link. So that's all you need. So let's say for Nokia Store, all you just need is the store.rv.com/content/content ID number, and you just submit that to the AppsBeacon console, and it generates all of the needed data automatically. And then you download our SDK from the site, and you call the SDK with your app ID that you received from the console. So basically it's up to you from where you call that SDK in your code or in your app lifetime. You can have a more apps button. You can do it in the end of the run of the apps when you know your user is about to leave, or when a user passed the level in your game. So when you call the SDK, it connects to the AppsBeacon server and retrieves apps and banners to show to your users of other developers. Then your app, which called the SDK, earn credits. Those credits are used to show your app and highlight its banners to other users of apps that call the SDK. So that's the basic solution, and for every 10 credits your app earn, 8 credits are going to be used to show your app banner. So it's a standard 80% credits ratio. So how to use AppsBeacon? Well, the first step is register a username on the web console. So you just go to either appsbeacon.com and click on the login link from there, or you just can click on the direct link from here, which is the console.appsbeacon.com/account/register.spx. Then you need to verify your email. So email verification will be sent to you, and you need to click on the link there. Second step is to, in the app section, you need to add your app. So you click on the new app button, and in the next screen you will enter your Nokia Store URL. The system, as I said, will automatically generate apps banner in different sizes, including your store stars rating, your icon, your app name. The banner will match the App Store look and feel. We also save important metadata such as category and description, and you can see some samples of banners in this slide. Then you need to download the appropriate SDK from our SDK section. We have one line of code. You can see it here in this slide. It's just SDK show banners, and you just pass with the appropriate parameters. So you need to pass your middlet instance, your app ID string, transition type. AppsBeacon SDK does a smooth and cool looking effect transition to show the banners, and whether you want the call to be non-blocking or blocking. So if you want it basically to run in a new thread, or you want it to block your code from continuing to running. So we're going to have a hands-on demo right now, which will show how to log into AppsBeacon on browser add a new app in the console, downloading the SDK, integration to Eclipse, and testing on different emulators, and checking out the report section. This is the AppsBeacon console. As you can see, you need to log into your console. I've already prepared a test account in advance. So this is my web console. Currently it's empty. I don't have any list of apps in my company, so I'll just add a new app right now. And this is the next screen that I'm seeing. I can generate the entire app content and metadata and banners from the store link in this format, or I can do it manually. So let me just select an app here, like from the Nokia store. I'll take and just click and just enter the store URL and just click generate. Okay, so it tells me application resources have been successfully generated, and this is my app line. So I can click on it and I can see further details. This is the ID of the app that is generated by AppsBeacon. You can see different resources related to the app, such as the banners. You can see the icon, you can see the stars rating, so you can see different banners sizes, which are based on mobile web and mobile advertising criteria. So next step is to go to our SDK section, and you can see we have an SDK. We have a complete step-by-step guide for those of you who need further instructions. We also have 3 sample projects which are for different platform use, so you can have a Luid example app, or if you're doing a LCDUI example project, or if you are working on Canvas based midlets. So you can download those 3 projects and check them out. So this is the SDK that you need to download. It's conversion 1.0. So I've already downloaded this SDK. So this is my Eclipse IDE, and this is the test project that I'm going to use to integrate AppsBeacon and run it on different emulators. So as you can see, I've already created a midlet. It's a very simple project. There's only one midlet, and there's very little current code that I previously added. I've just set up a form and set up a string item that has the text more apps and a command attached to it. And I've already downloaded the AppsBeacon client.jar to the projects folder. So what I'm going to do right now is right click the project folder, go to properties, and add the jar to the folder path, to the project path. Click OK, go to edit, export, and checkbox it. Then if your app hasn't used network before, then you should go to the application descriptor and add network permission for HTTP, because AppsBeacon connects to the server, so you need HTTP connection, and save. Now I can go to my command action callback from the button and just add a 1 line of code. So it's SDK show banners and pass on the correct argument. So this is my midlet, and now I need my app ID. So I'll just copy that as well, and the transition type I want, so I'll select from bottom up, and I don't want it to be blocking. And now let me just run it. So as you can see, this is our app screen, and just one button. So I'll just click on that, and as you can see, we got some nice looking banners for different apps with nice transition, and we can click back and go back to our app. Now let's test it on another emulator. So we got the new Asha 1.1 SDK. So I'll just click it, and again we got some nice looking banners for different apps. And as you can see, the SDK adjusts itself to the device it's running on, so you don't have the virtual back button here, so you have a real physical back button, so you can just click on that and go back to your app screen. So we have the standard WTK emulator, which is a non-touch device. So we'll just click one, and we have our banners, and we can traverse them and click any of them if we wish, and we can go back. So that's all about the integration and testing with different emulators. So let's go to our report section, so we can see some stats. So we need to select an app, and of course we only have the first app that we added. So as you can see, we have only stats for today. You can select the number of days you want to see stats for, and we've done a bunch of experiments with different emulators, so we've generated quite a lot of credits. So we have currently 62 credits, and we can see also impressions and click statistics that our ad received so far. So we already had 9 impressions so far that have been generated through other apps using the credits that our test app have achieved. So that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this webinar session.